But it will be very, very apparent, I think, who the Tron player is here in a second. I think if the Bant Reclamation player opens with Ursa's Tower, we're gonna be in a very weird situation. But we'll get this sorted quickly. And I think just mono green Tron, so classic Tron deck, probably with some Thrag Tusks. A modern staple. Through tried and true, time and time again, modern players will always count to 7. Bant Rec, taking a mulligan. You know, Bant Reclamation is playing a card that I keep coming back to, which is Growth Spiral, and that it feels like being able to accelerate 1 mana is so powerful in the format right now. I am like continuing to brew with that card at home. Not that anything good has come of it, but it's on my short list for sure.
I think it is specifically really good in Reclamation, but I don't know what, like there's so much value in Modern right now that's like in permanence. So I think when that card first came out, I was like, oh, this is just brokered, it's so good. And now it's like, it's a good card, but it doesn't really feel like totally busted.
Yeah, I just feel like if you're a deck that's going to hold up Counterspell, being able to like put an extra land into play is real good. I don't know. Again, I said nothing good has come of it. So I think we've got Tower in a map, classic. Paul's just like all business, no bluffs. We're just main phasing, cracking this expedition map. They don't want to mess around.
Yeah, as soon as you see your opponent playing Tron and not mulliganing and then leading with expedition map, there's this sinking feeling of like, oh crap.
Yeah, you are not. That's not what you want to be. Cool pick from a land from the Bant deck though. It's the Kaldheim Snow Duel. We don't see a lot of those.
Well,
wow, look at that foil. Just bouncing the light off the camera there. I think it's the green-white one. I don't know what Bant Reclamation is going to do if this is a Karn. Oh, I guess maybe they have a counterspell?
One would hope.
Maybe they have a cycle a Shark Typhoon into Force of Negation?
I mean, Karn is an extremely powerful card, but it is sort of funny how often it is a 7-mana Stone Rain.
Yeah. Yeah. Love the full art Tron lands, though, I'll say.
Is it a panorama?
It is a panorama with the Karn as well.
Where does, because are those in the right order where they would make us?
I think the tower goes in the middle, but Karn goes on the far right, I believe. And I believe Mark Tendon did all of the art for all of them as well.
I mean, those are pretty medium payoffs for Tron there.
Yeah, that's great. If I'm Bant, I'm super happy that isn't a Karn. I mean, a little unfortunate that O-Stone is in play and like you have to futz around with your Reclamation. But are we getting another Snowland? We got to be playing Icevein Kotal?
Yeah, I feel like that are, there's no real cost for Snowlands, right? So,
yeah, no one plays that black spell. The destroy all snow permanents or whatever.
Yeah, and maybe you're throwing off your opponents a little bit, trying to peg like what you're on. It's like, are you going to be on Stoneblade with Ice Fangs? Are you Reclamation? What's going on?
That's a very good point.
Are you going like 4-color with Ragavans?
Yeah, I love this regular forest that isn't snow covered, or is it snow covered?
That's snow covered.
Yeah. There's quite a few lands in Modern that look like they should be snow covered.
I mean, there is snow in that forest.
Yeah. Okay, we've gone up 1 mana in Tron.
That is an Oblivion Stone.
Ugin.
Masters.
Oh yeah, that's not resolving.
Yeah.
Whoa, a counterspell hit us so hard it knocked our camera out. Whoa!
That hurts, okay.
The card next to Relic is Oblivion Stone.
It doesn't... Our video signal does not support casting 8 mana spells on 4 lands.
Yeah, it just like overloaded the system a little bit. Oh, I do. Is that the Odyssey Mountain? The one that looks like a Sherbert Mound? I think it's Odyssey. That is also a favorite of mine. When I got bored one weekend and built Burn, when Burn just played Mountain still back in the day.
It's got a boomer booth going on
Yeah,
here.
that was my mountain of choice.
I feel pretty lucky that I got in on the Arabian Nights Mountains back in the day before.
Oh, the new Kawagama, like the snowy cityscape. It's like the street that winds away. So good. So good. Definitely top 3 mountains of all time.
Yeah, they've been pretty. Wizards has been on their A game with the recent like basics. I felt like they had some pretty crummy kind of like full art ones that are forgettable for a few years, but lately they've been. I like, as much as I love original printings and old borders, the full art basics have been really gorgeous.
I got some hot takes about basics that we can cover in between matches. But right now, I think Green Tron is about to resolve a banger of a spell. We've drawn another Ugin, and I don't think we've made a land drop. Oh, signal, come back. There we go. Yeah. When you're casting in a situation like this, you don't want your spark to ignite, even if you are casting magic. I think we've stabilized, and we have another Ugin. Ugin isn't even that good here. Like, it's a threat for sure, but
It's not Ulamog.
It's not Ulamog, and it's not Karn blowing up a land. So, I mean, like, a +3 is unfortunate, but how much does Nexus of Fate cost? 6?
7.
7? So we need a little bit more time. Yeah. Changing our mind about the fetch, I think realizing that Ugin's going to start pinging for 3.
That's just
Nope.
it's a revealed card, you know. You don't have to. You're not locked into that card.
Yeah.
Put that on the table.
I wonder if there's a 3-mana counter spell in here?
Still with Ugin on the stack. Cast an Ice Fang? Okay.
Oh, sure.
And then I'm gonna draw. Okay.
I think, just trying to draw for the counter spell. Did we get it? Oh.
Okay.
Oh, I like this play a lot, actually, because now Paul also now has a choice, right? I feel like half of Magic is giving your opponent choices for them to make the wrong choice. So, like,
Especially when you really don't want them to do the thing that they were like
Totally.
the obvious thing to do.
Yeah, like now Paul has to pick. Do I ping this Ice Fang Codal, or do I hit you for 3? And he pings the Ice Fang Codal. And I think if I'm Ben, I'm happy about that. I'm like, that Ice Fang Codal was not going to kill an Ugin. The wings on an Ugin are way bigger.
And have you remove a card from your library from the game? From my grave. Oh, sorry, that's what I meant.
I wonder if Paul's figured out what's going on. I never know what's going on against Bant Reclamation until they play the Reclamation, and then I'm like, oh, crap.
Now it all makes sense.
Exile the relic. Okay.
Oh,
Interesting.
oh, not gonna use it to draw a card there. I guess maybe Paul values leaving O-Stone up. Is that a no? That's not even a tower.
Mm-mm.
So yeah,
Yeah, maybe just missed a card.
yeah, because I feel like you want to blow up your relic just to draw a card at that point, unless you have something like Warping Well
Yeah.
or counter sorcery.
I think sometimes I forget. I mean, I'm sure like Paul just did that. Like, if I've activated Relic, I can still activate Relic again. That like he already ate a card from the yard, so in his mind he had done what he was supposed to do with that, which happens a lot. So.
Okay.
All right. So now we are forced to downtick Ugin. I'm so jealous of this line where like Reclamation goes and gets a tap land and then gets to just untap their shock land for free. It's like, that's so good.
This is interesting situation here that because we got the O-Stone, we can like put a wish counter on Ugin or like what are we gonna do? Are we just gonna downtick Ugin?
I think you downtick Ugin. I don't think you want. I mean, the O-Stone gets like sharks, I guess. I guess Ugin gets sharks too.
Yeah. Also, there's not, except for making a shark, there's not a lot that Bant's gonna do. I guess there is Cryptic and making sharks to deal with Ugin, but Bant's not playing red to deal Ugin damage, so it's gonna get to ultimate quickly.
True. Yeah, very true. I think the thing that I'm gonna regret saying this, I enjoy playing against Tron, is that like they have like a very large permanent that's a very good threat, but like the game is by no means over, even though we've resolved an Ugin. You know, like the writing isn't on the wall yet.
Yeah. It's very interesting. I mean, Ugin is lights out against like permanent base decks, but Ben's deck is not very permanent based. We just have one really important one.
Well, yeah, one very important person that's in play. We've got a Karn.
Red, I get to play that. It sure does. Okay. With my remaining green and a floating, I'll channel Position, target Wilderness Reclamation.
Oh,
sweet.
that's such a blowout.
That's a card, right?
That's so good.
Recently, I played against a couple decks that are on Rin and 6, and I've been playing either, this is either or, the Boseiju and Odawara.
Hmm.
That's been kind of a beating, like especially when your opponent can Odawara you like once each turn. I was playing a Murktide deck, and I was like, oh, there's not like.
Yeah, your Murktide's never resolving. Yeah.
There was almost a point where I brought in Alpine Moon to name Odawara just because it loses all abilities. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, I like that. That's a play. I think what's cool is we got 4 mana Karn, so we have a Karn board.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I assume it's just liquid metal coating, and we're on a land destruction plan to begin with, but. I guess what did just happen is Paul has ramped Ben into being able to flash back his memory deluge.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
I don't know. Dig through time is good.
You will have to pay the two life if you want to come into play.
You do have to pay the 2 life, yeah. I think that both players. The thing about Boseiju, if you haven't played against Boseiju yet, is it allows you to get a land with a basic land type. So you can get Triomes, Shocklands, basics, but you have to pay the relevant cost if you want them to come into play untapped. So you have to shock.
Get your Mystic Sanctuary.
Oh, that would be so tilting.
I watched the Legacy coverage this weekend, and it was pretty fun. It'd been a while since I'd seen Mystic Sanctuary, and that was like brought back some memories.
You were at 14 before? Correct.
Man, Ben. So I think it's fair to say that Ben's on like a 2-turn clock, right? Like Ugin pluses, Ugin ultimates, and at that point the game's got to be over.
Yeah, there's definitely some pretty good permanents that are going to come into play. I have one time won against an Ugin ultimate. That's because I was playing Burn and I was like Skullcrack and then had lethal the next cycle. But yeah, it's really like I would say it's in the 99.5 percentile of like you're going to win the game if you ultimate your Ugin.
Are we? Oh, we're debating on what to do with Karn the Great Creator. It's funny when you have an old bordered secret layer version that doesn't have the abilities broken out. Maybe you have to read that card a little bit.
I love it.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's old border. That's nice, I guess. I don't know. They're definitely not. I think that secret layer also had the Dak Faden, and I'm Dak Faden's biggest fan, but I did not bring myself to buy that secret layer.
You don't like the Wall of Rules text?
No, the Wall of Rules text isn't. Same with the basics. I don't know. I just want my basics to look pretty. I don't want to look at a bunch of text. MTG Cafe. Welcome to the chat. It's going well. We've had some swinging games. We've had all sorts of stuff. We've cascaded. We've drawn cards.
There's probably some regrets that.
We kept some one-landers that maybe didn't pan out.
We got to see. We got to see Glimpse do its thing. That's pretty fun.
Go down 2 to 3. I'll fetch a game. I'll fetch liquid metal coating. I'll set the game.
Yep. All right. Called shots. Go and get liquid metal coating. Okay. Next turn we can blow up a land, but what? I guess maybe Ben has a Nexus in his hand and gets to take an extra turn. It's pretty good right now.
There's one in the deck. Is it in the hand? Did you see it?
I can't see what's in his hand. Yeah. Well, we will not be using that memory deluge flashback.
And then I'll pass turn. Sorry about
Ben has a lot of mana right now.
A lot of mana.
There's several things to deal with. Some problematic permanents on Paul's side. And, you know, the Karn threatening to go get something else as well.
I think Karn probably just blows up a land, yeah. Well, I guess you maybe get Walking Ballista in the game. Right, go to 8. He's got 6, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so yeah, you just like plus on your... Oh no, you have to go get Walking Ballista. I don't know if there's a way for him to end the game next turn. Oh, well.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a wise call. I think Ben maybe could have, like, taken a few more turns, but saw that the writing was on the wall. When you're playing a slower, control-y deck, your time is something you need to utilize well. And
Sure.
if you're not going to win, conceding may help you have the chance to win 2 more games.
Yeah, I think Tron's also like a pretty known entity. So if I'm Bant Reclamation, maybe I'm, you know, want to keep things a little bit more secret. You don't want to mess around with something that might peek at your hand or something.
Yeah, and also you can use a bunch of resources, like both. You can end up kind of in a grind fest, you know, because Tron has really powerful cards. You have answers to them, and you can sort of, yeah, you can kind of have surprisingly long games against Tron.
Yeah. It looks like Ben's looking at a bunch of Force of Vigors, which I think is fine, but Artifact Destruction versus Tron is always a little iffy.
If you have enough cards to board out that are, like, ineffectual, it's fine, but
Sure.
I wouldn't board out good cards.
You know what, Damasay? I also swore to never buy a Secret Lair, but then they came out with the Stranger Things Secret Lair, and I was like, I gotta have it! And it just sits on a shelf. The cards aren't in a deck, but I have it, and it's there.
I mean, I think it's a really Wizards is doing smart marketing things for sure.
I'm gonna make my called shot on the stream so that it's recorded, so that
Okay.
when it happens, I think that just to bring up Secret Lairs and the Stranger Things Secret Lair, there's the reanimate land in the Stranger Things Secret Lair. It's like if 3 clues were sacked this turn, flip it over and it lets you reanimate something for free.
Okay.
And I think it's gonna be in the next New Capernia. Is that the name of it?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be in that set. So.
It feels like if you're printing cards that are going to be legal in formats, and then you're like, these are actually going to be real Magic cards soon. You can't have that be like an extended multi-year like ellipsis.
Yeah.
Like you sort of have to print them in the next year or two.
Oh, did they already show the printing of it? Is it in the set?
That's pretty cool.
If it is, then you heard it here first.
Or not. You heard it here first.
Oh,
They
all
heard
right.
it
Well,
somewhere
called
else first.
called shot. Yeah, this stream is live February 28th.
we need to hold up a newspaper.
Well, I missed that spoiler, but I'm glad that it's in the set. I think that someone was mentioning Arcbound Ravager in chat. I think you could maybe do some cool things like Thraben Inspector, sack some clues, flip your land. I don't know. It's an interesting card.
Yeah, you have a cool one now. Just send some credit card information to Wizards of the Coast. They're like, sometime in the future, we'll mail you this.
What is Tron board in against Bant Reclamation?
If you care about Reclamation, you might board in some like Nature's Claim type effects. I don't think you really do though, because you have stuff in your main deck that deals with it. I think you assume that they're going to have some way to interact with your lands. But they're playing Bant, so yeah, I don't know.
Bant Reclamation might have like a Spreading Seas effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess like the claim, like maybe claim effects to hedge against that.
That's fair. Yeah. It's interesting that 4 mana Karn, you're gonna probably keep a good chunk of the artifact stuff that you had in your board. So.
Yeah, whenever you are playing the 4 mana Karn, you're like, your sideboard slots that you actually bring in are not that many. Maybe between like you have 3 to 5 cards that you might actually like board in that aren't artifacts.
Yeah, exactly. I think we have a counterspell on Bant's side, which is pretty good. I feel like if you can interact with the first 2 pieces of things that Tron plays, like the 2 big things that they play, you might be able to stabilize.
Racing to 1.
Both players just mulliganing away. I love to see Tron players mulligan, though. You know, I think people can be very aggressive with their mulligans with this deck, and they should be.
I mean, Tron is probably, I would say the two decks that, let's see, I don't want to eat my words with this, but decks that mulligan best in Modern, Tron has to be up there as one of them. Dredge also mulligans extremely well. You have any others that you put up for top decks that you don't mind mulliganing with?
I mean, I don't mind mulliganing with Burn to a point. I feel like you can get a good 2 mana, 3 spell, 5 hand with Burn, and you're probably fine. I am not seeing this on the new Streets of New Capenna spoiler, so I think that it's still available to be a called shot. Yes, Nicole B, we have a loose cable. Gremlins in the wires somewhere.
Yeah, our main video producer isn't here, so and we have like a bit of a cable problem. It tends to just flicker for a second and then come back. So sorry for that annoyance. We're gonna reset some stuff in between the match to see if we can deal with it. But we kind of went to time pretty much last match and then just went straight to another video, straight to another round for video. So didn't quite have time to reset things. But yeah, thanks for a heads up. Yeah, we are getting back into streaming here. We're here every Mondays at Guardian Games. We're Portland Paper. We repost edited VODs and stuff on YouTube afterwards. You can look us up there. But you know, we did this for some years and took a break during the pandemic. Have some new equipment, trying to get things dialed in here.
Well, Tron is not turn 3 Troning, which is a good sign. They're turn 4 Troning, so that's probably still a problem. But maybe a little better.
From the video, that almost looks like an exploration.
It does. Yeah. It's the old border throws it off. Is that a growth spiral? I don't know. Going up, I take back everything I said about growth spiral.
It's broken.
Yeah. I mean, going up a land against the 7 mana deck doesn't feel nearly as good as a regular
You're
deck.
going to be able to cryptic command on turn 3. Just, how do you beat that? Whenever Tron has to play basic forest, that is always a sigh of relief. You get, as the opponent, you have an extra turn, maybe 2 turns, to be able to set up how you're going to respond to the onslaught of like large mana spells.
Yeah, buys you an extra turn, which I think like right now, if I'm Ben, like I'm trying to draw counterspell, I'm trying to draw a piece of interaction just to get that whatever 8 mana spell is going to come down. Oh, thank you for trying to link it. I think chat does not allow links, but I'll believe you when I see it. Bant is in good shape. I think it's a hard choice to play a Reclamation here, unless you have a counterspell. Worst case is like they're gonna resolve Ugin and blow up your Bant.
And I'm gonna let you hang out with chat. And I'm
Yeah. Let's do it. I'll be honest. I only looked at Mythic Spoiler quickly on my phone, so it's possible I missed it. Also a great sign here. Anytime Tron isn't making Tron and is just spending time playing spells. Yeah, all of the shaking is Travis making adjustments. But Bant is going to Memory Deluge, I'm guessing. Travis has we have different mics, so that could be it. You're a little quiet, Travis, in chat. I don't know if that's something you can control. But Memory Deluge seems very good here. You know, I wonder how much of this matchup is just like on the play on the draw, right? I think that could be making a big impact here.
Well, that Chalice on 1 is a little bit late, but
I wonder if you put Chalice on 2 to try and nab things from Karn.
Yes, one makes sense to, if, you know, Karn doesn't have Karn yet, right? So that's going to shut off Expedition Map and any of the other sphere type effects.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I feel like Chalice on 1 is pretty good against Tron, especially if you can play it early. This is a little bit late, but it's still going to probably affect the game, affect some top decks. You know, Tron is playing like 8 bobble effects plus the 4 maps, so that shuts off 12 cards. And relics, we saw those as well.
True.
So maybe
We did see relics, and I feel like Paul valued those very highly in the first game.
Yeah, so something like shutting off, 12 to 16 cards.
Oh, that's true. Chalice on 2 turns off like your own growth spirals, the best card in Modern.
And your counter spells, which are really important for this
Yeah,
matchup.
yeah, that's true. What would I be playing tonight if I wasn't in the booth? I saw a version of Merfolk playing Collected Company and 4 Utopia Sprawl. And I was looking at that before coming here and finding out that we needed another voice in the booth. I've been playing this red-green, I don't even know what to call it. I don't know, red-green mid-range stuff with like 3 Beseju and 4 mana Karn and lots of liquid metal coatings that has been pretty fun. Speaking of Beseju, Paul just Beseju'd the Chalice, which is like one of my favorite interactions. Like you just, I gotcha. But ramping the Bant player is also going to be costly, I think. And we see a counter spell in Ben's hand. So I think, depending on what Paul goes for with his Tron mana next turn, Ben might be in okay shape.
Wow, countering the map.
Well, he knows that he doesn't have Tron because he would have played
Yeah.
it. So that seems like an okay play.
And I feel like I'm always scared when I'm playing a counterspell deck against Tron, even when I have a bunch of counterspells. Once they start to get towards that 10 mana and can just play Ulamog, that's such a problem.
You can't respond to the cast trigger.
Oh yeah, we're dealing with some priority questions here. So yeah, resolves,
Deathrow Brain.
goes back to Ben.
You can only
Ben gets to cast something,
something. I haven't done anything yet.
or pass to the end step and start the trigger.
Well, I cast
But you could just blow it up in his main phase.
but the stack is clear and there's nothing.
I'm going to go out and judge call this, folks, so that they can understand what's going on.
Yeah, cool.
It's an instant. You can cast it on my turn.
I'm playing red green Karn, not a Ponza deck, but Beseju and Karn are both very good at blowing up lanes.
Something. Sure.
I have not died with Karn in hand
So,
very often. I typically am out of cards with Ensnaring Bridge in play, and I lose to my own slow play at the clock.
after every turn phase?
Correct. Paul will get priority in the main phase before the trigger goes on the stack, and we can blow up the Reclamation before there's any sort of trigger. That's how every end phase will work.
So you'll be able to make an action.
I feel like this happens sometimes when like someone plays like I don't know, someone plays like a Darcy and you want to get rid of it immediately, and you're just like, oh, Darcy, bolt it, when really you need to let it resolve and let them cast a spell.
Okay. So I would like to change phases. Okay. I would like to move to combat. Yes. And then in combat.
I love how animated these hands are while they're
Still in
talking.
the first main phase, but responding to me trying to.
Oh yeah, I just heard Paul say, sure, we'll go into combat. End of combat. I'm gonna Nature's Claim this.
Yeah, that's not
Uh,
an intuitive.
oh boy.
And then it's your turn. Okay. Thank you.
I feel like we're riding the top deck
Stuff. Yeah. Like not
high here.
stop, respond. Totally understand.
Paul just needs a good draw. Does Ice Fang Coatl has flash, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Ben's got an Ice Fang Coatl. We'll draw a card.
Oh, okay. That's not the Tron piece.
That's not Tron. What an intimidating way to play it, though.
I get kind of tilted, but also kind of love it when Tron players play like a different version of each Tron land, so
No.
you can never
No.
really be like, what?
You should never love that.
I think it's the correct thing to do in a competitive environment, as long as you're not intentionally misleading. Like you answer questions honestly,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
yeah.
I think Castle is so good for Ben right here. The only thing Ben is fighting against is his own card quality.
a card.
I mean, the Ben's
I don't know
clock
what-
is also pretty slow.
Yeah, but okay, that's true. That's true. But I mean, with an O stone in play, we got to get through the O stone. So we got to draw Force of Vigor. We have to draw something to provoke that O stone activation. Summary dismissal.
Your turn. Yeah. In your end step, I'm gonna flashback memory deluge.
All right. Flash.
Oh yeah. Exile all spells and counter all abilities.
That's why you didn't have the relic. Okay.
That could be.
So I think, like I would tilt the bar to Ben's side in favorability of winning this matchup. There's also, I see he has the second castle in his hand. We're resolving a memory deluge right now. I think the issue is going to be closing speed with only like 16 minutes left of the match to be able to win this game and then win the next game. I haven't seen, a lot of times when I'm playing like blue-white control decks in the past, even currently, or just control-based decks, I like having a win condition in the sideboard for this situation that happens in paper a lot, more so than it does on MTGO, where I like a card like Geist of St. Draft or something in the sideboard where like I have 5 minutes left and my normal deck, even though I'm not going to lose, can't win in that amount of time. So I like having that option to side in.
Just a clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're just, every abundant growth in the deck is drawn. Abundant growth reads whatever draw card that is abundant growth. We're just chaining them together.
Oh, I'm gonna go.
Oh no! The gremlins got to the battery too? Well, before we hopped off here, I think that Ben had a Solitude in hand, which is pretty sick. If what Paul is going to go for is a non-creature spell. If it's an Ulamog or some other large creature that Ben will have an answer for it. It's also a clock, as we were just talking about not having a clock. Oh.
Just one turn. In response, tap 5. Crack it, sack it. Yep. So it's all non-lands. It's all
Yeah, we finally got rid of the O-Stone, which killed our 1/1 clock.
Go to mine. Okay. Past you. Okay.
Really missing our producer being here tonight.
We're getting by. We're getting by.
Yeah.
I do love a good nimble obstructionist blowout. It's only happened to me once, but
It's like a lot of power plants over there.
is this
Your end step, I'll flash an assault.
not stacking your lands? Is that like a Tron thing? You just like keep putting lands on them. You just like as much of the playmat as you can take up. You want lands. Oh, good. We put a clock on the board. Solitude.
6-turn clock.
6-turn clock. Let's get it.
22.
Also, I mean, I think the lifelink, while it doesn't feel super relevant, might be something. If we're facing down something like an Ugin or a big walking ballista or something.
Yep. Move to my end step. Yep. I'll float 4 blue. Okay.
All right, we're doing silly reclamation trigger stuff. What do we got to do with all that mana?
At the beginning of my end step. So I'm going to my end step, responding to the trigger.
I wonder if we're going to get the Nexus right now or if we're just going to do a memory deluge.
To scry 2. Okay.
Oh, we're using the 4 mana from the trigger to just scry 2.
One bottom.
I mean, memory deluge is great here. I don't know. Leaving it all untapped too, I guess if you have memory deluge, like why bother?
Start hard casting.
We're just going for naturally casting Karns and Ugins
Yeah.
at this point.
I mean, at a certain point, yeah, like Tron gets that inevitability, but I think that when you're playing it's a counterspell deck, Ben has lots of answers right now, I would assume.
I'm gonna counter.
Yeah, after like scrying 4, peaking at 7, taking 2, like yeah, I would hope that there would be some answers. It'd be pretty unfortunate if it wasn't. players are deep in thought. There's a lightning bolt. And we're back.
We're coming back, baby.
We countered the giant walking ballista. That's what we missed. And that scoops it up.
All right, so 12 minutes. Like, see, after shuffling, we're probably going to have, what, like
10 minutes?
10:30?
Yeah. The ultimate opponent, the clock, playing a big role here. I'm trying to get a peek at what else is going on there. I think Ben has a prismatic ending still in the main, it looks like. I don't know if I would bring in the Chalice, but maybe. I feel like Chalice without fast mana on the draw is not nearly as good as on the play.
Thank you so much.
I mean, I feel like it's fine if you don't have like a ton of other good cards to bring in. Just because we saw in that game, like Chalice demanded a removal piece from Paul to then be able to cast a map that got countered. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess it all depends on what you board up, like you said. Like,
I would
let's hope we
maybe-
don't have a bunch of mulligans here.
yeah, I mean, if there's like some dead cards, like I saw Endurances in Ben's board. I don't know how many dead cards are in the main deck, but just having a flash threat that you can play on turn 3 that's like a
Just a
3
clock.
power,
Yeah.
seems fine.
Yeah, especially if you're going to be doing things like holding up mana for counterspell anyways, like the ability to play something in flash create seems very good. No prismatic ending for the tower. Uh-oh.
Well,
Tron doing Tron things.
unless something really surprising happens, we're gonna have turn 3 Tron.
Well, Ben does have a counterspell, so the first threat isn't going to get there. But well, I guess it depends on what the threat is.
There's some vocal folks in chat that are sort of hoping for the demise of Tron. I don't think it's personal. Just Tron is one of those decks that has very people have strong feelings.
Yeah.
around it.
It's just Quinn. We usually wrap up at like 10:30-ish. Depends on rounds, like if people go to time and they take 15 minutes over the clock, then like obviously things go longer.
Yeah, we're Pacific over here. We're in Portland, Oregon. Yeah, if you don't know and are joining us in chat, it's Portland Paper. We run a stream every Monday starting at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I think we're going to all Standard Time all the time now. Is that right?
I think that has to get signed by one more person.
Okay.
Yeah. Or maybe the House. I can't remember who it's going to, but the Senate passed it, so that's good. Counterspell on the Karn, I think expected. We have another counterspell in hand, so we get to get rid of 2 threats. This is what I was talking about. If you can answer the first 2 threats, like there's a chance that like there just isn't a lot going on. I think especially post board.
Yeah, because you have to trim something as Tron to bring in some sideboard cards,
Right.
and we saw that.
I'm honestly a little shocked even to see 7 mana Karn.
Oh, that's the second best card I think in the matchup. I'd say Ulamog's first, just for the uncounterability, and Karn is second.
Yeah, all right, maybe Karn's better than Ugin. That's fair. Ooh, buddy.
Oh, this is interesting.
This is a hard choice. What is Karn gonna go fetch that just absolutely wrecks Bant here? Well, we won't find out. And at 5 mana, that would be.
Yeah, so it goes. They're 50-minute rounds that start at 7. Usually, they're pretty close to on time. They do time in round at the end of rounds, and folks can finish games. I would say, yeah, we usually. The last people playing are usually done at 10:30, but you can get done at 10 sometimes, depending on what you're playing.
Yeah, true.
Yep, come back to us on the signal.
Oh, we're back. Whoop. Travis,
Yeah.
put your arm back up.
No, it's
Nope,
just
stand on one foot.
It's gonna dance in and out this evening.
All right. We've got Ugin, which we were just talking about is good, but maybe not great. I guess Ben's at 3. That's rough. Ugin's just going to plus away and bolt for days.
Yeah,
think
after
Ben
this round,
took-
we've got a capture card thing that we need to reset here. And yeah, should have this signal stuff cleared up by next round, but would involve turning off the video for a minute or two.
I think Ben took a growth spiral. Oh, he took Dovin's veto.
Yeah. Would have been good to counter the Ugin, but
I don't think you care about Southern Scrying at this point. I think what is interesting is we can hardcast a Solitude to keep the Ugin in check. For a turn.
check is in like air quotations.
Yeah. Well, it's a time walk, right? He's gonna bolt you for 3. You're gonna cast it. You're gonna gain 3, deal 3 to the Ugin.
How do you actually deal with Ugin though?
You just win through it,
I'll go up 2 to 11.
right? I don't know what else you're gonna do. We talked about we don't have clock
Yeah.
to do anything, and like Ugin's plus is so good. What do you go get with map here? Oh, I guess you go get Sanctum of Ugin, huh? Oh, we're just chucking ballistas in the main.
Cast a Solitude. Okay. And then I'll go to my turn. Okay.
I guess you attack Paul, not Ugin, right?
No, I think you attack Ugin to keep it off the ultimate to buy yourself another
Oh,
turn.
right. Is it Ugin Ultimate's at 11? It's been a while since I've...
I think it's at 12. But you want to just buy 1 turn, right? Sometimes you pay 5 mana to take an extra turn. There's a card at the back of Ben's hand that I can't see that's blue, but...
I'll play a Misty and Pasty. Okay. Like that. Turn.
I mean, if I am Paul, I think I would just keep... I guess you have to bolt the Solitude, right?
Yeah, Chat was mentioning Cryptic Bounce, and I feel like that is the old school line for control decks, is like the Cryptic Bounce and counter it on the way back down. I haven't looked at deck list for Wilderness Rec recently, and I know I've seen Cryptic in the decks, but sometimes usually it's not a full 4 of. I don't know how that deck's been iterated on recently though.
Dovin's veto is non-creature, right? Non-creature spell?
Correct. Yeah.
So if Paul just drops like a huge walking ballista, like we're a mess. Oh, why? Oh, that's not a terrible way to deal with an Ugin. Cycle Shark Typhoon, make a big old shark. Sharky shark.
Minus Ugin for 0.
I mean, that's okay. I mean, you're still dealing at 4 damage,
Yeah.
right? All you're doing is trying to make sure it doesn't ultimate and buying yourself as many turns as you can. We drew an abundant growth.
Hardcasting a Shark Typhoon would be interesting.
No, then you just Ugin minus, right? And then that's like you're toast.
Do you want me to call a judge? Is this
The minus for 0 is very unfortunate.
and unfortunately,
Yeah, it looks like the player's got the Misty tapped for a bit.
Okay. So you meant to get a.
Oh, shoot.
I thought I had a breeding pool. Okay.
I'm guessing they're just gonna
cards since then,
fetch a
and
Misty.
there should be
Like, I don't know.
one fewer card in my library. So I understand. And we missed a shuffle and stuff. Got it.
This is like regular REL, as are most things that aren't big tournaments. This is a fairly easy fix. I think you just make Ben take the life and get the breeding pool out of the deck.
How we're supposed to. Yeah. No, I totally understand that.
Well, he wants to tap it, so he probably would go get an island or something.
Yeah, or if there is another breeding pool.
Yeah, whatever.
6. What I need to do is fetch, get an island, and then pay 6. Got it. Okay. So
I think that
12. I should have an island out of my deck, and then I miss
I don't know. Magic's hard.
potentially should.
Maybe they're just like it's been too late. You can just fetch if you want. I mean, the difference is like shocking yourself is a big deal right now, right?
Yeah.
Shark Typhoon for 4.
I mean, basically, so how it works at regular REL is they just figure out a solution that is like within like like rules that makes players feel good. So like that you're trying to make people encourage people to have fun, encourage people to play by
Yeah.
the rules, but you're not like disqualifying people.
I wish the stakes were higher though at these kinds of like things. Like I wish that like the ruling was like, okay Ben, like we'll let you tap it for mana, but you have to literally rip your Misty Rainforest in half
Well,
right now
I
on
actually
camera.
like the judge's ruling, which says it's one less because you couldn't have tapped it for mana, so it's a 3/3. So like we maintained a legal board state.
Oh great,
for-
that's easy.
Breeding pools to play abundant growth on Misty. Okay.
What?
You can tap Misty for any color mana now without having to fetch.
That is not a play that I have ever seen, I don't think.
Wilderness Reclamation. Okay. Results.
Is that? I guess that's good. Saves you a life.
Play Flooded Strand for turn. Okay.
All right, we got a butt ton of mana.
We also only have two-ish minutes left. There might be a slight lag between what we've got on camera for time and what actual time in round is. We'll let you know and have a turn counter once they go to time in round.
Oh, that is a very good point. That the shark actually dies to Ugin plus now, but now with Wilderness Reclamation in play, I think they still minus, right?
Oh, sorry. No,
We've got Counterspell, we've got Veto. As long as Paul doesn't play two things, then we're in okay shape. Or, well,
4, 5, 6, 7.
Looks like an X. Oh no, getting a memory deluge flashback.
Look at 7. Put 2 in.
that costs one more mana, doesn't it? Isn't it 7?
Yeah, we had.
Oh, we tapped the breeding pool
Yeah.
over there. Yeah, I didn't see that. Well, now Paul can play two things because we don't have Veto and Counterspell up. I haven't played Wilderness Reclamation. I haven't played against it very often, and I haven't ever piloted it. But the goal here is just to like get as much value from your mana as possible, right? There's no like, I mean, you can run the deck out with Nexus of Fate, but that's like kind of like the
Usually,
cute way to win, right?
Yeah, usually make big sharks.
Okay.
Deal with everything, make big sharks. Sharks take over the game.
Results. Okay. Top 5 cards in my library reveal colorless. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That map that was cracked earlier did not go get Sanctum of Ugin, which I think is interesting. I wonder if for some reason maybe there isn't an Ulamog.
Let's go on the bottom of my library.
That's kind of a medium Ancient Stirrings there.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Let's the Ugin plus to the face. Like we're trying to keep that clock going as we're about to go to time and round soon-ish.
We're going to pay 3, leaving 5 remaining. I'll use, hang on. Oh. I'll use 3 of that 8.
All right. Yeah, Ben's thinking hard about this O-Stone. Counter target non-creature spell.
Oh, okay. Well, I still have 5 floating. Do you still
Ben
have
also has a second Reclamation in hand, so
3, 2,
um,
9?
that's something, you know? Oh, we plus on the shark and let him keep the Reclamation? Holy cow.
So I'll go
How much mana can Ben make?
turn
8?
and
8 on his turn plus -4 is 12 plus 8 is 20. Oh, but he can't beat the Ugin minus on the token. Shoot. Chat, how does Ben win here besides spamming emotes? I wonder if there's
Probably a combination of making a big shark and Nexus of Fate.
I wonder if Ben can march
a wilderness reclamation. Okay.
March of Unholy Light the Ugin, right? Does March of Unholy Light hit
Hold on.
Planeswalkers?
Otherworldly Light.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
March of that Totoro looking artwork that is adorable. Oh my gosh, is that what's happening?
Responding to the second trigger, I'm gonna make 2 blue and a white. Okay. And then
1 white, 5 blue is what we're representing here. We asked on stream, how does Ben deal with an Ugin? Where's the clock? How could he possibly resolve an Ugin plussing till the end of time? Oh, it's just Memory Deluge. Dang, that was such a good build-up.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be Big Shark the Nexus, but
Oh, Big Shark Nexus would do it too. Yeah.
You have 6 currently. 6 and 7 untapped. Yes. So you're going to tap, you're going to run Memory Deluge again for 7. Yep. Sorry, I'm not telling you what to do. No, yeah.
Flashback the Deluge. Dig, 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 dig. Ugin isn't ultimate next turn, so you're just taking 3. Like, as long as you can beat a Walking Ballista, which Ben has a million answers to in his hand. Oh, are we reading
so
March of
how
Unholy
are
Light?
turns resolved when you get extra turns? So what happens is players, like time in round is called, then you're on turn 0. Turns get, you get 5 turns after that. If a player takes multiple turns, that is still counts as a turn. So if Ben takes an extra turn, that would then go to turn 2.
He drew the March of Otherworldly Light.
Oh.
Not that that's gonna win him the game, but like being able to March of Otherworldly Light a Ugin is like pretty amazing.
Sure, we can't quite do it now, right? We're
Uh,
out of mana. We have 6.
we are out of mana, yeah. So we can do it next turn.
Okay. Here we go. Draw for turn.
It's possible we could go at 0, 1, 2. Turn 3, get rid of the Ugin. Turn 5, win the game with a big shark.
We'll go a green and a colorless. Play Sylvan Scrying. You got it.
Oh no, we can't do it that way either.
This time the correct land. Turn 2. Turn 2. Thank you. We're going to go with...
Oh, this is only round 2. I feel like we've been watching a lot of matches.
It's been a night. It's been a night. To be fair, this match, not a mover. Lots of draw, go, play 1 spell. Paul grabbed me Beseiju to blow up a Reclamation, which seems at this point fine, but I mean I don't know what else you're gonna do. Seems fine. Doesn't have a green mana to use that Beseiju.
I risk losing 2 next.
Is that a little bit of whoops maybe?
Solitude. Chirps anyways.
Beseiju being uncounterable is like all the channel abilities being uncounterable are just like it's so good.
Yeah.
If you don't own those cards yet, I would highly suggest going out and buying those channel lands. You can pick them up at ggportland.com.
Well, I think it's Guardian Games, but yes, yeah, you can definitely buy singles at, oh, yep, you're right, ggportland.com. or Google Guardian Games. And yeah, you can buy singles off of their website, and you can even buy list stuff there too.
We don't have a green mana. Oh, we minus Ugin because we couldn't get rid of the Reclamations
I'm just
anyway.
like, what's happening?
It's amazing how hard this is to follow with only a single permanent in play.
I mean,
trying to keep track of things.
definitely Ben losing the Wilderness Rex is going to...
Not do that again.
Losing the Wilderness Reclamations is bad. Not floating the mana off the Misty Rainforest. Whoa, Prairie Stream.
Hell yeah.
Prairie Stream on the stream. Let's go.
I don't really see a way for Ben to win now without having the Rex. I feel like the Rex could enable
Yeah.
to those big plays, but now it's like, how do you not lose?
No, it's still, I'm still
I mean, I would just try to unholy whatever that
March
card
of
is.
the other. Let's say
March,
it together.
March of the otherworldly light, the Ugin, just to say I did it, and then I would.
March. I think it's March of Otherworldly Light. I don't
March
think it's
of?
yeah.
Oh, you're right. It is. Yeah. March of whatever's. Yeah.
right. 'Cause you got a flooded, or you got a prairie. I have 2 or more basics. So
Yeah. Double streamception. We have to read the Prairie Stream right now because we weren't expecting that to come out of the deck.
I'm gonna cycle Shark Typhoon.
Okay. EOT make a shark. Can we maybe double Nexus and win the game? No, we're at 20 life.
And go to my
A
turn.
4/4 doesn't do anything.
Well, I mean, double next. I mean, that's gonna take too many turns. Right.
I mean, if he takes all the rest of the turns, right? He attacks for 12.
Play lands. Go to 10.
But, like, if he casts Nexus this turn,
Yeah.
Nexus next turn.
Nope. Doesn't do it without the Rex.
Yeah. I guess if he resolves Reclamation, where you can maybe do some crazy stuff.
Meanwhile, all the other players are like, why is it taking so long for
Yeah.
round number 3 to start?
We've blown up 2 Reclamations so far this game, I think. I don't think we've blown up 3. As badly as I want him to exile that Ugin, it doesn't matter anymore.
We have combat. Okay. Attack you for 4. Me for 4. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to the face.
It looks like March does not target planeswalkers.
Oh!
It's just like artifacts,
Oh, what?
enchantments, and creatures. Is that-
All right, all right.
So I'm sorry.
All right, we Nexused.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It says take an extra turn after this one. If it would go into your graveyard.
I think they're probably trying to figure out how turn count works. Taking an extra turn in turns is not something that comes up very often.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You continue to engage with the videos. I'm gonna go let them know how this works.
Yeah, great.
Nexus of Fate on whenever it turns, it still progresses the turn.
Usually that's what happens. The streaming tables at Guardian are a little set off from the regular modern crowd, so we don't get a bunch of noise coming in through our headsets. So I don't think anyone's crowding around. They're probably just standing around wondering who's still playing.
Yes. Untap. This is 4.
Turn 4, we figured it out. All right, we need to make a really big shark and cast a Nexus of Fate. And oh boy. I guess we just abundant growth and draw some cards and see if we can cast Nexus of Fate again. Maybe create a board state where it's very apparent that Paul's lost the game. Incredible the amount of fetchable lands in this deck.
Play an abundant growth. Okay.
Yeah, we're just digging for the Nexus again.
I guess you're playing for the draw at this point, but I don't know what Paul could do to also win on the next turn. So
Cast a Ballista.
yeah, that is the one thing.
Yeah,
So I guess you have a counter spell for that.
true. Yep. I mean, if I'm Paul, I'm thinking,
Yeah.
you know, what am I going to do? I'm just casting Ballista. I wonder, is there enough? He's got 9 plus 6 is 15. He doesn't have enough to do 2 Ballistas.
Combat. Okay.
He only has enough to do... Now we're attacking Ugin. What is going on? Well, I think that's it. I think that's the writing on the wall for a draw in round 2.
All right. Good games. Good games.
We'll go grab your popcorn. We'll be back.
In just a second, yeah, we'll be back in a few minutes with round number 3 of 4 here at Guardian Games for Modern Mondays.